So God doesn't just want our house to be a home,
tapi Tuhan ingin kita juga jadi rumah buat banyak orang di sekitar kita.
but God also wants us to be a home for many people.
Markus pasal 2.
Mark chapter 2,
Ya, Markus 2 ayat 1.
Mark 2 verse 1.
Pertama saya belajar ayat ini, saya rasa aneh sekali.
So when I first was learning about this, I really felt it was strange.
Nah, terjemahan NLT bagus sekali.
The NLT has a great translation.
Yeah.
Mark 2 verse 1. When Jesus returned to Capernaum, several days later, the news spread quickly that he was back home.
Terjemahan bahasa Indonesia, Yesus ada di rumah.
The Indonesian says that Jesus was at home.
Terjemahan NLT, Yesus pulang balik ke rumah.
So the NLT says Jesus comes back home.
Nah, yang saya ganjal dalam bahasa Indonesia, ia ada di rumah.
What was strange to me was in the Indonesian that says he was at home.
Apa bedanya dia ada di rumah dan dia ada di sebuah rumah?
What's the difference? He is at home or he is at a house.
Cepat, bedanya di mana?
What's the difference? Is what is amazing.
Lalu ayat 4.
And then verse 4, the wife gives authority over her body to her husband, and the husband gives authority over his body to his wife.
Saya pakai psikologi lagi.
So again, I'm thinking psychologically.
Setelah kita menikah,
After marriage,
ternyata keinginan seks suami istri itu nggak pernah sama atau nggak pernah barengan.
the sexual desires of husband and wife aren't the same.
Selalu beda-beda.
It's always different.
Misalnya kali ini suami siap, istri tidak siap.
Maybe today the husband wants to have sex,
Tapi istrinya tidak siap.
but the wife doesn't.
Lain kali kebalikan, istrinya siap, suami tidak siap.
And another time it's the opposite.
Menurut hukum sorga,
According to heaven's law,
tubuh suami itu milik istri, tubuh istri milik suami.
the body of the husband belongs to the wife and the body of the wife belongs to the husband.
Ini saya sangat kagum pada hukum ini.
And this is something that really amazes me.
Ayat ini saya pakai menolong ribuan keluarga, saudara.
And I use this verse to help thousands of people, thousands of families.
Sebab dalam pernikahan,
Because in a marriage,
masalah tempat tidur selalu jadi senjata utama iblis merusak.
the marriage bed is the most potent weapon that the devil uses to destroy the family.
Saya tanya kepada saudara,
I want to ask you this question.
kalau bicara tentang tempat tidur,
If you're talking about marriage bed,
maka yang lebih besar ada bicara tentang seksual.
the bigger thing that you're talking about is sexual.
Betul tidak, saudara? Ternyata ini harus selalu dilakukan bersama-sama.
So this needs to be done together.
Saudara boleh baca buku psikologi apa tentang seks dalam keluarga.
You can read any books on psychology about sex in family.
Tidak pernah ada buku yang begitu bijaksana kecuali firman ini.
There is no book that has wisdom such as the Bible.
Jadi ketika yang satu tidak siap, yang satu siap,
So when one is not ready but the partner is ready,
maka yang tidak siap harus terbuka kepada yang siap.
the one that is not ready needs to be open to the one who is
Ingat,
ready.
ada iblis di situ.
Remember, the devil is there.
Kalau yang tidak siap tidak jujur, kenapa aku tidak siap?
If the person who is not ready is not open why they are not ready,
Dan itu terjadi berkali. Kalau ia ada di rumah,
if he is at home,
berarti dia di rumahnya sendiri.
he was at his house, his
Lalu
own home.
saya lihat terjemahan-terjemahan bahasa yang lain.
So if I look at the other translations of
Saya
other
pikir
languages,
bahasa Indonesia salah terjemahan.
I think Indonesian translation was wrong.
Ternyata semua terjemahan menunjukkan Yesus pulang ke rumahnya.
All other translations show that Jesus returned back to his home.
Walaupun tidak semua saudara pernah meneliti perjanjian baru,
Even though maybe none of you have looked through the New Testament,
tapi saya beritahu, saya percaya saudara ngerti ini.
but I believe you will understand this.
Yesus pernah sewa rumah, beli rumah, kontrak rumah, pinjam rumah atau tidak?
Has Jesus ever bought a house or rented a house
Untuk jadi rumahnya.
to become his house?
Ayo, pernah atau tidak? Nggak pernah. Saudara.
Never.
Lalu rumah siapa?
So, whose home is this?
Saya belum ketemu jawabannya.
I haven't yet found the answer.
Ayat 2.
But in verse 2,
Hanya ada satu hal saja kalau dia pulang ke rumahnya.
if he was returning to his house,
Hanya ada satu kejadian.
there would be one thing.
Bukan 2,
Not 2,
bukan 10,
not 10,
satu.
just one.
Lihat ayat 2.
Soon the house where he was staying was so packed with visitors that there was no more room, even outside the door, while he was preaching God's word to them.
Saya sadar tentang God's home, rumah Tuhan di dunia ini.
So I realized one thing about God's home on earth.
Bahasa NLT bagus, saya kata soon.
The NLT says soon.
Begitu dia pulang ke rumahnya,
So the minute he came home to that house,
langsung orang datang berkerumun.
immediately people came and packed the place out.
Menurut ayat ini,
According to this verse,
yang membutuhkan a home di dunia bukan cuma kita dan anak-anak kita,
the people, it's not just us and our children that need a home,
tapi dunia ini perlu rumah.
but the world needs a home.
Dan inilah kebenarannya.
And this is the truth.
Di mana ada Yesus,
Wherever Jesus is,
di situ pasti rame.
that will bring crowds.
Maka itu rumah orang Kristen, apalagi rumah pendeta, dengar ini baik-baik,
That's why a home of a Christian, especially pastors,
tidak boleh sepi.
should never be quiet.
Kalau rumah orang Kristen sepi, rumah pendeta sepi,
If a home of a Christian is home, a home of a pastor is quiet,
pasti nggak ada Yesus di situ.
there's no Jesus there.
Di Indonesia ya di Indonesia, kalau di Australia pasti tidak.
This is Indonesia. Yeah, Australia is different.
Sejak saya mengerti ayat ini,
But since I understood this verse,
saya tidak bisa terima kalau rumah pendeta pakai satpam, pakai security di pagar depan.
I can't accept in Indonesia you have pastors' houses have security guards in front of them.
Kenapa?
Why?
Pasti yang datang masuk ke rumah tersaring.
Because with security guards that means you stop certain people coming in.
Kalau datangnya pakai bajai,
If they come with,
apa ya,
bad transportation,
pasti satpamnya akan tanya ke dalam, Pak bisa diterima nggak ini orang?
the security guard would ask, will you accept this person?
Pasti pertanyaannya detail sekali, saudara.
There will be detailed questions.
Dari mana kamu? Untuk apa? Mau perlu apa? Aduh.
Who are you? Where are you from? What do you want?
Tapi kalau datang pakai BMW seri baru,
But when they come with the latest BMW,
pintu pagar buka sendiri.
the gates just open.
Betul tidak saya ngomong ini?
Is that right?
Rumah pendeta pakai satpam berarti dia selebritis.
The home of a pastor, if they have security guards, it's like they're celebrities.
Ada yang marah waktu saya khotbah ini.
I got an angry response one time when I was speaking of this.
Padahal nggak tahu, Tuhan berkati kami luar biasa sehingga di rumah kami banyak barang-barang yang mahal.
Pastor Daniel, you don't understand. God blessed us so much so that we've got so many of expensive things in our home.
Masih ingat ketika Tuhan Yesus bertemu orang muda yang kaya?
Remember when Jesus met the young, rich young person?
Yesus ngomong apa?
What did Jesus say?
Jual semua hartamu bagi ke orang miskin.
Sell all your possessions and give it away to the poor.
Jadi saya tanya, apakah di Alkitab Bapak nggak ada ayat itu?
So I asked, in your Bible, sir, doesn't it say that?
Jadi pendeta yang kaya harus jual semua hartanya biar rumahnya nggak takut kemasukan maling.
So pastors who are rich, you should sell everything you have so that you're not worried about thieves coming in.
Sehingga nggak perlu pakai satpam.
So you don't need security guards.
Dosa terbesar buat hamba Tuhan seperti itu,
The biggest sin of these pastors
dia menghina malaikat.
is that they are looking down on angels.
Ayo, kenapa menghina malaikat?
Why?
Ayo, mana lebih sakti, satpam atau malaikat?
Which are more powerful,
Ayo,
security
malaikat
guards
atau
or angels?
ngerti? Ya sudah. Jadi jangan berjemaat di pendeta yang pakai satpam rumahnya. Awas.
So don't go to a church where the pastor uses a security guard.
Itu bukan alkitabiah.
That's not Bible.
Di mana ada Yesus,
Wherever Jesus is,
semua orang boleh masuk ke situ.
every person was allowed to come
Karena ada a home di situ.
because there was a home.
Dan ingat, di mana ada a home pasti ada Bethlehem, ada makanan di situ.
And remember, where there is a home, there is Bethlehem, there is food
Saya
there.
kenal beberapa gembala di sini, rumahnya nggak pernah sepi.
I know some pastors here and their house is never quiet.
Ngerti yang saya maksud? Ada orang-orang yang di sini saya tahu karena saya pernah nginep di rumah mereka.
I've stayed at their houses, so I know.
Sampai anduk tuh berapa banyak itu di rumah itu.
So they've got so many towels,
Berapa banyak matras di rumah itu.
they've got so many mattresses,
Aduh, dapurnya nggak pernah bersih. Saudara, tumpukan piring ganti-ganti terus.
so the kitchen is never clean, there's always dirty dishes
Karena orang makan di situ.
because people eat there.
Orang tidur di situ.
People sleep there.
Di antara semua negara yang saya pernah kunjungi,
In all the countries that I've visited,
saya kagum pada Korea Selatan.
I am amazed with South Korea.
Bagi yang belum pernah ke Korea Selatan, saya beritahu hari ini.
If you've never been to South Korea, I'll tell you this.
Hampir di semua gereja di Korea Selatan
In nearly every church in South Korea,
selalu punya shelters.
always they have a shelter.
Gereja-gereja Korea Selatan selalu punya rumah entah sewa untuk orang-orang asing itu tinggal, saudara.
Each church has a house, maybe they rent it, but they prepare it for people, foreigners to come
Karena
and stay.
Korea Selatan sedang maju sekali industrinya,
Because South Korea is really booming in their industries,
sehingga perlu tenaga kerja banyak.
so they need a lot of people to come
Dari
and work.
Indonesia, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Pakistan, banyak sekali.
From Indonesia, Myanmar, Pakistan, Bangladesh,
Dari negara dunia ketiga.
from third world countries they come.
Semua gereja di Korea Selatan pasti ada pengacara gratis, solicitor gratis.
And every church in Korea has a solicitor that won't charge money
Untuk memperjuangkan hak mereka.
to fight for their rights.
Saya kagum.
I really was amazed by this.
Kesukaan kami suami istri kalau ke Korea selalu cari shelternya di mana.
What we like, my wife and I, when we go to South Korea, we go to a church, we look for where is their shelter.
Pernah satu kali masuk rumah itu nggak dihuni orang. Pertumpukan banyak sekali.
One day we came to this house and there was no people there, but there was so many suitcases.
Saya tanya, ini untuk apa? Milik siapa?
So I asked them, what are these for? Who owns these suitcases?
Rata-rata yang punya barang ini sedang ditangkap oleh imigrasi di penjara.
They said most of the people who own these suitcases, they've been captured by the immigration.
Kalau mereka bisa bebas atau dipulangkan,
If they are freed or they are sent home,
maka imigrasi akan datang ke tempat ini untuk cari nama milik siapa ini, dan kami kirim.
immigration will come to this place and they will try and search for the belongings and we will send it to them.
Luar biasa.
So this is an amazing thing that they did.
Saya baca satu ayat lagi ini.
I want to read you one more verse.
Ibrani 13 ayat 2.
Hebrews 13 verse 2.
Ada berapa ayat seperti ini di Alkitab, saudara.
There are many verses like this in the Bible.
Tapi ini yang Tuhan maksudkan, a home.
This is what God means, a home.
Ya.
Hebrews 13 in verse 2. Don't forget to show hospitality to strangers, for some who have done this have entertained angels without realizing it.
Mengapa Tuhan Yesus minta kepada gereja untuk suka memberi tumpangan?
Why does Jesus encourage the church to give hospitality, to give a place to stay for people?
Karena mereka butuh a home di dunia ini.
Because they need a home in this world.
Di antara kita di ruangan ini,
Between us in this room,
hanya Pastor Rudi Timothy yang pernah ke Nabire, ke rumah kami.
so only Pastor Rudy and Timothy have been to our house in Nabire.
Sebelum saya menikah sampai saya menikah,
From before I was married, right up to when I was married,
selalu ada orang tinggal di rumah kami, saudara.
there has
Selalu.
always been people who stay at my house.
3 bulan sebelum saya menikah,
3 months before I was married,
berapa pendeta senior yang kenal saya
a few pastors, senior pastors came who knew me.
bilang, pesan, kalau kamu sudah menikah, jangan tampung orang-orang lagi.
They-
Istrimu nggak tahan nanti.
They said to me, look, once you're married, don't take people in to live with you. It'll be too much for your wife.
Saya bilang ini satu-satunya persyaratan untuk dia mau menikah dengan saya.
I said, this is the only criteria for her if she's going to marry me.
Dia kaget memang saudara pertama saya beritahu.
She was, surprised when I first told
Saya
her.
bilang nanti kalau kita menikah, kita nggak cuma tinggal berdua loh.
I said, look, when we get married, it won't be just us, the two of us in our home.
Ada siapa lagi? Dia bilang.
Who else is going to be there? She said.
Oh, hobi saya itu ngumpulin orang-orang rusak.
I said, my hobby is to gather people who are destroyed,
Yang hancur hidupnya.
whose life has been destroyed.
Oh, saya yakinkan dia pelan-pelan.
And slowly I spoke to her.
Kami sudah menikah 23 tahun ini.
23 years we've been married this year.
Istri saya hebat, saudara.
My wife is amazing.
Dia bisa tinggal dengan orang model apa saja.
She can stay with people with all sorts of backgrounds.
Ya, yang mencuri juga ada,
Some
yang macam-macam
steal.
juga ada.
Some just do weird things.
Pernah suatu kali kami pulang, semua kosong, spray, sendok, piring, habis semua.
One day-
Televisi nggak ada. Ini kemana semua ini?
One day we came home, our television was gone,
Semua spray, sendok, piring, habis semuanya.
our plates, our spoons, forks, everything was gone.
Kami baru nerima satu anak lulusan penjara.
We had just accepted this guy who had come out of prison,
Ternyata dia belum pulih betul.
but he hadn't been rehabilitated.
Kami nggak marah,
We weren't angry
karena bisa beli lagi kok.
because we can buy again.
Kalau kami marah,
If we were angry,
maka yang punya pabrik spray, pabrik piring tutup. Karena nggak ada beli baru lagi.
the shops will all close because nobody
Pabriknya
buys.
bukan shopnya,
Oh,
pabriknya tuh.
the factory will close down.
Maka itu kalau punya barang jangan doa gini supaya awet ya Tuhan dalam nama Yesus. Awas doa begitu.
So when you've got something, don't pray, God, keep it so that it'll last forever.
Karena ada orang Kristen biasa doakan barang baru
Some Christians pray for new things
supaya nggak rusak-rusak, supaya awet. Awas doa begitu.
so that it will keep for a long time.
Tuhan nggak akan dengar doa seperti itu.
God won't hear that prayer.
Kalau nggak pabriknya tutup itu.
The factories will close down.
Ya sudah, kami mau apa lagi?
What else would we do?
Setahun kemudian
1 year later,
anak ini pesan lewat temannya suruh telepon kami.
this guy
Yang curi tadi, yang
that
curi barang-barang.
stole our things got a friend of his to speak to us
Tolong lihat dia lagi di rumah sakit. Sedang di rumah sakit.
and asked for us to come because he was in the hospital.
Kami datang, saudara.
We came.
Buat kami semua orang yang perlu home,
For us, every person that needs a home
itu anak-anak kami.
is our child.
Ayo kalau kita punya orang tuh, punya anak,
If we have children,
sejahat-jahatnya anak,
as bad as they are,
dibuang atau tidak?
would you throw them away?
Tadi siang saya dapat telepon dari Michael Chen,
Today, I had a phone call from Michael Chen,
kakaknya Andrew Chen.
the brother of Andrew Chen.
Pernah dengar nama Andrew Chen?
You've heard his name?
Yang funeralnya tanggal 8 Mei yang lalu di Hillsong.
Who had a funeral just recently.
Michael bilang ke saya, Pastor Daniel, Papa Mama ingin ketemu.
Michael said to me, Pastor Daniel, my mum and my dad wants to meet you.
Berapa kali saya ketemu mereka di penjara Bali di Kerobokan waktu Andrew Chen masih di dalam.
I met them quite a few times in jail in Bali.
Maka itu ketika banyak pendeta ada beberapa pendeta di Indonesia yang nggak setuju cara saya.
So when many pastors in Indonesia didn't agree with my methods,
Karena saya nggak setuju hukuman mati untuk orang yang sudah bertobat ini.
because I do not agree with the death penalty for people who have
Ada
repented.
beberapa pendeta kata-katanya jahat sekali.
Some pastors had some evil words.
Saya bilang,
I said,
seandainya itu anakmu,
if that was your child,
nggak bisa jawab.
they couldn't answer me.
Sejahat-jahatnya orang ini.
As bad as this person may be,
Yang di Australia pasti dengar,
in Australia you would have heard,
ada berapa orang yang nggak setuju hukuman mati.
there was a lot of people who don't agree with the death
Karena
penalty,
ada anak-anak yang mati gara-gara kokain, gara-gara narkoba.
because many children had died because of cocaine and drugs.
Mereka berkata, untung mereka tidak masukkan barang itu ke Australia.
They said, lucky that they didn't bring those drugs into Australia.
Saya berkata, saya ngerti perasaan mereka.
I said, look, I understand your feelings.
Maaf saya berkata,
And I said, I'm sorry to say this,
kalau toh ada yang jual barang itu,
but if someone is selling those things,
misalnya Bali 9 siap memasukkan itu, berhasil masuk ke Australia.
if the Bali 9 had got through and brought the drugs into Australia,
Maaf saya berkata,
I said, I'm sorry to say this,
saya punya konsep ini di Alkitab,
but
saudara.
I have this concept from the Bible.
Anak nggak pernah salah, yang salah adalah kita.
The children are never wrong, but it's the fault of the parents.
Setuju?
Do you agree?
Jadi saya bilang,
So I said,
jadi kalau toh ada yang jual barang itu,
so if there are people who are selling these drugs,
kalau kamu jaga anakmu baik-baik,
if you take care of your children well,
kamu cukupi semua yang dia butuhkan di rumah,
you supply for all their needs at home,
maka anak-anak nggak akan beli barang yang salah.
your children will not be purchasing those drugs.
Jadi sesalah-salahnya anak tetap anak, saudara.
So even though they've got mistakes, they're still children.
Saudara lihat di TV,
You see on TV,
ketika berapa jam sebelum dieksekusi, bagaimana mamanya Myuran nangis seperti itu. Aduh,
a few hours before Muran was executed, his mother was crying.
mamanya Andrew juga.
Andrew's mum as well.
Itulah hati Yesus.
That is the heart of Jesus.
Sesalah-salahnya anak itu,
No matter what mistakes those children have done,
kita tetap anaknya.
they still are children.
Ada dua macam rumah sekarang.
So there's two homes now.
Satu yang gedung yang kita punya,
Now, one is a building that we have,
tergantung kapasitasnya berapa besarnya.
and it depends on the capacity, how big it is.
Kalau rumah saudara cuma misalnya 72 square meters misalnya,
If your house, for example, is only 72 square meters,
jangan nampung orang 30,
don't accept 30 people to live with you.
tidur berdiri nanti begini.
We're sleeping standing.
Tapi ada rumah yang kedua,
But there is a second
rumah
home,
hati.
our heart.
Rumah hati kita.
Our heart home.
Ini unlimited atau limited?
Is this
Terbatas
limited
atau enggak?
or unlimited?
Rumah hati kita bisa terima 2 juta orang.
Our heart can accept 2 million people.
Ayo pulang dari sini kita semua jadi rumah buat orang-orang itu.
So when we go home from here, let's become a home for all people.
Ini yang Tuhan cari.
This is what God is looking for.
Akhirnya bukan cuma kami suami istri yang buka rumah hati kami.
So it wasn't just then us, husband and wife, who open our hearts and our home,
Tapi Tuhan berikan kami rumah-rumah jasmani juga di beberapa kota.
but God has given us houses, physical houses in many cities.
Oh, saya lupa baru lihat Pastor Joy di depan.
I've forgotten. I've just seen Pastor Joy up here.
Bukan cuma Pastor Rudi, Pastor Joy yang pernah tinggal dengan kami di
Pastor
Nabire.
Joy also has stayed with us in Nabire
Berapa tahun? Lupa. 5 tahun.
for 5 years.
Nanti pulang saya minta saudara tanya Pastor Joy, orang model apa yang kami terima?
Now, when you go home, when we finish, ask him what sort of people stayed at our
Joy yang
house.
angkat tangan supaya dikenal, nanti duduk depan.
So that's
Oh, ya?
Pastor Joy.
5 tahun tinggal dengan kami.
5 years he stayed with us.
Saudara, kami nggak pernah milih orang.
We never choose
Dalam
what
perjalanan ke
sort
sini,
of people.
ya. Jadi mau Kristen, Islam, Hindu, Buddha, buat kami nggak masalah.
Whatever religious background they are, it doesn't matter to us.
Rusak, sehat, penyakitan, bau, bersih, semua kami nggak
Whether
pernah
they're
lihat
healthy,
itu.
whether they're sick, whether they smelly, whether they smell good.
Buat kami, pokoknya dia orang, kami harus terima.
For us, they are people. We have to accept them.
Mau bengkok, mau lurus, mau utuh, mau cacat, tidak masalah.
Whether they have,
Any shape.
any condition that they are in.
Ayo kita semua jadi rumah.
So let us become a home.
Di ruangan ini ada satu keluarga yang meminjamkan rumahnya untuk kami pakai buat menampung orang-orang itu sampai hari ini.
In this room, there is a family that has lent us a house to house these people
Di Bogor.
in Bogor.
Sudah berapa tahun? Lebih 10 tahun kami pakai
It's
tempat
been
ini.
more than 10 years that we've used this place.
Saudara, kami akan terus berjuang.
So we will continue to try
Jadi rumah buat mereka,
to become a home for them
dan menyediakan shelter seperti gereja Eropa untuk mereka.
and become a shelter for them, like the churches in Europe.
Ayat terakhir,
Last verse.
betul-betul terakhir.
This is truly the last.
Saudara, baru jam 6 sore
It's only 6 o'clock
di Jakarta.
in Jakarta.
Kita pakai jam Jakarta saja ya.
So let's just use
Yeah.
Jakarta time.
Kalau pakai jam Korea baru jam 8.
In Korea, it's only 8 o'clock.
Oke. Roma 15 ayat 7.
Romans 15, verse 7.
Saya tidak pernah mengerti ayat ini
I never understood this verse
sampai pada suatu hari ada sebuah peristiwa yang luar biasa.
until one day something amazing happened.
Silakan dibaca.
Romans 15, verse 7. Therefore, accept each other just as Christ has accepted you, so that God will be given glory.
Luar biasa. Terimalah seorang akan yang lain,
Accept each other,
seperti Kristus telah menerima kita.
just as Christ has accepted
Jadi
you.
standarnya,
So the standard,
bagaimana kita menerima seseorang,
how we accept others,
perhatikan standarnya.
you have to listen. What is the standard?
Seperti Yesus menerima kita.
It is like Jesus accepts us.
Mari saya ingatkan,
So I want to remind you,
waktu dia menerima kita, keadaan kita seperti apa?
when he accepted us, what was our condition?
Sudah bersih atau masih kotor?
Were we clean or were we dirty?
Apakah dia berkata ini, Daniel, aku terima kamu tapi mandi dulu ya?
Did he say to me, Daniel, I will accept you, but you go have a shower first?
Saya mengaku dosa.
I admitted my sins.
Tuhan, saya berzina.
God, I had adultery.
Saya mencuri.
God, I stole.
Ampuni saya.
Forgive me.
Apakah dia jawab, oke Daniel, aku terima kamu.
Did he say, okay, Daniel, I'll accept you,
Tapi percobaan 3 bulan.
but 3 months trial?
Kalau 3 bulan ini kamu baik-baik, aku terima kamu.
If you are good in these 3 months, I'll accept you.
Ingat saudara, bagaimana waktu pertama kali dia menerima kita.
You have to remember the first time, what was the condition when he accepted you?
Ngerti maksudnya?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Seperti itu kita memberi tumpangan buat semua orang.
Like that, we also need to accept and give
Nah,
to others.
sebelum saya ngerti ayat ini,
Now, before I understood this verse,
satu hari kami diundang ke rumah keluarga yang baru punya anak pertama umur 8 bulan.
so one day we were invited to come over to a family who had a child
Umur 8 bulan.
who was only 8 months old.
Waktu kami lagi omong-omong di ruang tamu, cerita-cerita,
When we were sitting in the living room and talking,
tiba-tiba si nyonya rumah lihat jam, wah, terus dia teriak berdiri. Kami kaget semua.
suddenly the lady stood up and she shouted, and we all was really surprised.
Aduh, sudah setengah jam ini.
Oh no, it's half an hour too late.
Kami semua kaget, tuh ada apa?
Oh, and we were thinking, well, what's going on?
Seharusnya bayi kami sudah bangun setengah jam yang lalu.
And she said, our baby should have woken up half an hour ago.
Ini kok belum bangun, gak ada suara apa-apa.
Why haven't we heard any noise?
Jadi langsung dia berdiri, otomatis kami ikut semua ke kamar bayi
So
itu.
she
Saudara.
stood up and we followed to the bedroom.
Ya, kira-kira kalau saudara jadi tamu gitu juga enggak?
Would you be doing that if you were a visitor?
Karena kan ikut khawatir, kenapa ini anak?
We were also worried.
Saudara dengar cerita ini.
Now listen to this story.
Rupanya bayi ini cukup kuat.
Now, this baby was quite strong.
Sudah bangun lama, nggak nangis.
Actually, it had woke up. The baby had woken
Maaf
up a
saya
long
ngomong
time.
agak jorok, ini jorok betul.
Sorry
Kotor.
to say this.
Dia sudah bisa buka pampersnya, saudara.
So the baby was already able to open their nappies,
Dia lagi beol.
and the baby was doing his business.
Thank you. Namanya anak kecil.
This is a baby.
Dia buka, dia mainan ini
So,
kepalanya.
he was-
Oh,
Just wiping it all over the place,
saudara, betul-betul pemandangannya. Bayi.
and it wasn't a pretty sight.
Itu yang membuat saya bertobat.
And that's what made me repent.
Langsung lihat, ingat ayat ini.
I remembered this verse.
Mama, si mama
The mother
melihat kejadian itu.
saw that.
Saya mau tanya, kalau mama itu adalah saudara,
I want to ask you, if you were the mother,
Kotor-kotornya bayi itu.
as dirty as the baby was,
Pulang dari situ kami dua diskusi, kira-kira sudah kemakan belum ya? Sudah kemakan belum?
we were talking to each other on the way home. Oh, I wonder whether the baby ate that.
Kan tangannya sudah penuh.
It was all dirty.
Ayo, apakah mama itu akan ngambil bayinya kayak induk kucing ngambil anaknya?
Would the mother pick up the baby like a cat picks up the kittens?
Masih ingat bagaimana cara mama kucing ngambil anak kucing?
So how does a cat pick up their kittens?
Sorry, ambil pakai tengkuknya begini.
So they pick them up.
Terus,
You are smart.
sudahlah jangan ngomongin yang dulu.
So don't keep talking about the past.
Perjalanan kita masih panjang.
We have a long journey ahead of us.
Kasihan penumpang, jangan lupa.
Have pity on the passengers.
Tahun 70-an saya pernah ngalami satu pengalaman yang lucu tapi ini fakta.
Back in the 70s, I experienced something. This is a real story.
Di Surabaya.
In Surabaya,
Waktu itu masih ada becak.
they used to have becaks.
Ya, tricyclesnya apa?
Yeah, 3 cycles.
Rickshaw ya bahasa Hongkongnya, rickshaw. Ya.
Rickshaw.
Om, ini sudah tua-tua, umur sudah 70-an, saudara.
And this guy who was 70 years old,
Sudah punya cucu.
who had grandchildren,
Saya sering nginep di rumah mereka.
I often stayed at their
Jadi
house,
saya kenal mereka.
so I really knew them.
Tiba-tiba siang-siang itu omnya telepon saya.
One afternoon,
Si suami ya,
the
telepon saya.
husband called me.
Daniel, kamu kesini.
He said, Daniel, you need to come over.
Om mau cerai saya sama tante.
I want to divorce my wife.
Loh, kenapa?
Why? I said.
Ini guyon atau bener? Bener, dia bilang begitu.
Is this real or are you kidding me? No, this is real.
Ya saya datang, kaget-kaget juga.
So I came over,
Waktu saya sampai di rumah, tantenya lagi cuci piring, santai saja.
and the wife was just washing dishes.
Saya lihat nggak ada apa-apa.
I thought, nothing seems to be happening.
Kamu duduk dulu. Omnya bilang gitu, kamu duduk dulu.
And this man said, you sit down.
Saya duduk.
So I sat down,
Om itu nggak terima, Daniel. Kalau tante itu suka ngomongin begini.
and he said, look, I cannot accept that she would continuously say this.
Nah, terus saya tanya, tante ada apa sih ini sambil nyuci piring itu?
So I asked the wife, what's happening?
Daniel dengarkan ya, tante cuma ngomong beca. Om itu marah.
And the wife said, oh look, I only said beca, and he was angry.
Saya tuh mau tahan tertawa. Apa yang salah, cuma mau becak-becak saja.
So I really felt like laughing, but I was holding it back because I was just wondering what's wrong with saying beca.
Lihat tantenya mukanya senyum-senyum, omnya lihat tuh muka marah betul.
So the wife was smiling and the husband was really upset.
Akhirnya si om menjelaskan ke saya.
So the husband then explained to me,
Berapa tahun yang lalu
years ago,
di Pasar Turi, di Surabaya, Pasar Turi ya,
in a certain market in Surabaya,
om itu naik becak dengan adik sepupu om yang perempuan.
I was on a beca with my
Cousin.
cousin,
Iya, perempuan ya, cousin perempuan. Cousin perempuan.
my cousin, a lady.
Iya. Lah tante itu diberitahu orang dikira om naik becak sama perempuan lain.
So the wife was told by somebody else, and she thought that he was with another woman.
Padahal om saya jelaskan itu sepupuku. Dia
But
bilang begitu.
I explained to her that was my cousin.
Ya, saya nggak tahu gimana kejadiannya.
So I didn't know what happened back then.
Rupanya tiap kali ada ribut, istri ini punya password.
But so every time they had a conflict, the wife had this password.
Becak.
She just said beca,
Ini passwordnya kalau ribut.
and this was what caused him to get really upset.
Ayo, siapa punya password di rumah?
So how many of you have specific words that you use
Ngerti?
at home?
Ada
Do you
nggak keluarga
understand?
seperti itu?
Is there families like this?
Nggak perlu ngomong panjang-panjang.
You don't need to speak too much.
Satu kata saja.
Just one word.
Maka belukar, semak belukar ada di rumah kita, bukan taman.
And the bushlands, the scrubs will be in our house, not a garden.
Mari kita merenung pernikahan kita.
Let's think about our own marriages.
Bagaimana pernikahan kita sekarang?
What is our marriages like?
Bagaimana tempat tidur kita?
What is our marriage bed like?
Menyenangkan atau tidak?
Is it full of joy or is it not?
Maaf ya saudara, saya ngomong apa adanya.
I'm sorry to just be upfront and honest with you.
Suami istri yang nggak beres,
Husband and wife, if you don't have a good relationship,
malas tidur di tempat tidur itu.
you will not want to sleep on your marriage bed.
Setuju saya ngomong ini, saudara?
Do you agree what I'm saying?
Kalau itu yang kita alami,
If that's what we are experiencing,
ayo kita bertobat hari ini.
let's repent today.
Ciptakan taman,
Let's create a garden.
kuduskan tempat tidur kita.
Keep the marriage bed
Oh,
holy
maka
and pure.
surga turun ke bumi.
That heaven will come down to earth.
Setan nggak punya tempat lagi di
That the
hidup kita.
devil has no foothold in the
Oh,
world.
betapa bahagianya anak-anak kita.
And our children will be so happy
Surga turun ke bumi.
that heaven comes to earth.
Tuhan memberkati kita semua.
God bless us all.